Okay, in this tutorial, we're going to show you a couple of tricks that you can do with layer styles. And in other tutorials, I kind of gloss over them really quickly um, to kind of encourage you guys to just kind of explore it yourself. So I've got this duotone image here, and I've got my logo placed in here as well. But what if I don't want this logo to be in the same kind of reddish sort of hue here? I don't want it to get lost. I want it to pop a little bit more. So what I can do is I double click on the layers, I get my layer styles, and one of the things I'm going to look at is the color overlay. So the color overlay literally puts a color on top of it. Usually by default it's multiplying, and by default it's also white. I could change that color to whatever I want it. So like right now it's like an kind of off white. I want it to be a pure white. So now it's a pure white. And instead of multiply, I'm going to set it to normal so it's opaque. And now look how that logo pops out. And it's I could again change this color to whatever I want it to be. So this is kind of red, so we'll go with its complement color. Complement colors are green. And since this is a duotone, it's not going to give us quite the effect that we want. You're not going to see the green too well. So we'll cancel out of this. But white we can definitely still use. And, whoops, let's double click on here. Set it back to normal. And let's change that to pure white. Click OK. There it is. That's a color overlay. And like I said, you get more range if this is in a duotone file. So if I go back to, say, image mode and I change it to RGB, I don't want to flatten my layers. Then I can double click on this and get my color overlay back up again. And I could change this now to green. And I get the green because it's not a duotone anymore at this point. And so since this is kind of a washed out sort of red, I would probably go with a kind of a muted sort of greenish gray. Like that. But color overlays can take your vectors. You can also do it with pixels as well. By selecting and isolating a layer, and you can put a color overlay onto it. But this is again just kind of exploring layer styles a little further in Adobe Photoshop.